What is good, credit people, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Bobbalam, contracting diabetes because again all we eating lately is beef, but we love it because most of us American and don't care about what we ingest into our bodies. But anyway, in today's video we're going to discuss one of the two beefs Trippie Redd has involved himself in as of recently with Bourne. Is Trippie getting in all of these beefs on purpose simply in order to promote his upcoming album Pegasus 6ix9ine style, starting unnecessary beefs? Who knows, but nonetheless the beef has definitely boosted someone's career, as we'll get into a little later, probably both though. But of course, before we get into all the details, Bob Gang feature comment of the video is from Kaya, who said Uzi and Cardi have the combined file security of a Cheeto. Whatever that means. All I know is after I hit Iggy and JT from the back while both Uzi and Cardi watch, I'm gonna be licking my fingers like I just ate a family pack of flaming hot Cheetos. But back to the topic, Trippie Redd beef with Bourne continues. Let's talk about it. Okay, so before we begin, if you haven't watched the previous video on how the Bourne vs Trippie Redd beef started and everything that went down, make sure to go check that out after this. But to give you a brief summary, sparing the details, essentially randomly a couple days ago during the afternoon, Trippie Redd went live on Instagram and sneak dissed Bourne, claiming he forgot where he came from, among other things.
Niggas always forget where they came from. I remember when niggas was just engineering in the studio, living out the studio, hoping niggas gave them a shot.
But the main premises of the live were that Trippie insinuated that he made Bourne's career by being the rapper that gave him the shot at the very beginning to put him on, aka 1469 polls, and that after Trippie Redd helped him out, Pierre wanted to charge him allegedly $80,000 to clear the beef for the highly anticipated leak or the snippet, I can't remember, called Moan with K Suave.
Want to charge their homies $80,000 for beats now, like, y'all niggas is corny.
There is much more context, such as the song actually being a Trippie feature with K Suave being the primary artist, so that could complicate things and explain the reasoning behind the high price for a Pierre beat. But again, for all the analysis for the beginning of the beef, make sure to go check out my previous video. But to continue, Bourne then responds on Twitter with a couple tweets, firstly with cap, but deletes shortly after, and then posts a picture of Shark Boy that remains on his account to this day that we concocted has two possible meanings. Pierre could have been trolling Trippie Redd by either claiming he looks like Shark Boy due to Trippie Redd's shark cut grills, and or Pierre was alluding to the plot of Shark Boy and Lava Girl, by which Shark Boy was a creation of the boy's dreams and imagination, or in other words, that either Trippie or Pierre is Shark Boy created by the other. But moving on to the more recent drama, yesterday Chart Data tweeted that Bourne's T-Lop 4 has re-entered the Billboard Hot 200 albums chart after experiencing an increase of almost 800% in the last week. Obviously, with such great news, Bourne retweets Chart Data and actually starts teasing T-Lop 5 with a possible track list and a couple, yes, more than one, Playboy Cardi features, but that's for another video. Trippie Redd felt a type of way about Pierre's sales going up, it seems, for shortly afterwards he posts a couple videos on his Instagram story, again sneak dissing Bourne, in summary claiming that he was responsible for Pierre's massive spike in sales without even mentioning his name.
Damn, I made somebody's sales go up 800% just from speaking without even saying their name. You know, that's a blessing to even know I got power like that. I'm proud of him. Real talk. I wish bro would go number one time. That shit would be amazing. I love his music. I love his sound. Keep doing you, bro. You a star.
Not gonna lie, of course I love beef, as y'all all know, but Trippie's passive-aggressive tone in combination with saying he's proud of Pierre's success, but also saying he was the reason T-Lop 4 charted again, irked me a bit. Don't get me wrong, I love Trippie and Pierre, but this is just getting petty. But again, to continue, shortly afterwards to troll Trippie again and possibly capitalize off the clout Pierre's probably been gaining with such a public beef with Trippie Redd, reposts the Chart Data post that he retweeted on Instagram captioned 80 racks and hella laughing emojis, obviously throwing shots at Trippie for the previous IG live that we discussed. But that's not all, for Trippie responds in the comments of this same very post stating, "Bro, this none new, I've always helped you, remember that you just let me down as a brother." Damn, throwing the sad boy card. But to be honest, I'm not sure how Trippie and Pierre's relationship will go after that, because Pierre could end up making amends with Trippie, but then again, as I mentioned before, they are being super petty with one another and could continue the beef by trolling each other. Trippie does seem very sad though, whether or not you believe Pierre or Trippie is in the right. Sometimes it's just best to forget who is ever right in the situation and just resolve the issue, in my experience at least. But either way, Pierre is starting to get the recognition he deserves, obviously shown from the chart data tweet with 800% increase in sales. However, one thing to note is that on June 19th, Pierre dropped his T-Lop 4 Deluxe album, and from off the top, I believe, don't quote me on this, but this would be the first week that the album and singles would be calculated for Billboard, given they need at least a week to register sales, and then they announce the numbers the next Monday or Tuesday. Therefore, not denying Trippie definitely helped Pierre gain some extra exposure for his solo music, but we can't for sure say Trippie was completely responsible for an 800% increase due to the Deluxe releasing so recently. In fact, as I edit this video, Pierre responds to Trippie yet again on his Instagram stories saying, "Ain't nobody make my sales go up 799% but God," and then continues in the next story stating, "The Deluxe being released did that, giving y'all all the songs y'all been wanting for 3 years did that, that's the first week results. Deluxe been out 11 days, can't boost someone's sales in a day this week if the results is from last week when it actually came out." So essentially, Pierre just completely confirmed what I said earlier, and that the Deluxe Billboard results weren't calculated until yesterday, so that's why there was such a huge spike in T-Lop 4 sales since the Deluxe just released. Pierre also brought up a great point in that the beef only started like yesterday or the day before or whenever, sometime recent, so last week's results couldn't have possibly factored in any increase in sales from beefing with Trippie so recently, although I do expect another spike in next week's Billboard calculations from this situation. And lastly, in the Trippie Pierre beef, Pierre retweets someone in Lil Baby's camp that said, "I've been removing myself out of people's lives a lot lately, they don't deserve me for real." Almost certainly taking shots at Trippie, and now that I think about it, possibly Lil Yachty too, who brought up that him and Pierre weren't on good terms either. I hope Pierre is handling his business and relationships the right way, because fans can only see what's going on in the public sphere, but from the looks of it, he might be shutting out his friends after becoming such a famous producer and gaining traction as an artist too. Still one of my favorite nonetheless, even with the beef, Trippie Red included. So with that, it's your boy Bobbalam signing off, sending Trippie Red Pierre Bourne type beats on YouTube so we can just replace whatever Pierre didn't clear on the album. Let me know in the comments if you think the two will ever be friends again and work together. Make sure to like and subscribe while you're at it for the latest hip hop news, drama, and analysis videos, as well as to follow me on all my socials in the description if you with it. Peace out, cloudy people. Know what I'm saying?